of David according to the flesh. But today we're going to stay strictly on what he taught. This is who the Christ of the New Testament taught that he was. And these words supposed to be undeniable. I'll show you an emphatic statement that was made, or should I say, is alleged to have been made in the book of Revelation. And you know what the book of Revelation is. That's the book that Christians teach is the book of prophecy. That is the book that the Christians teach is the book that's going to tell us who will be saved and who will be damned. It is a book that looks into the future. The revelation of John that he received on the island Patmos by Christ through an angel. And look who Christ told the angels to go back to the churches and teach who he was. According to Revelation 22, verse 16, it says,
IJC has sent my angel to testify unto you.
Here the Christ of the New Testament says, I, the Christ of the New Testament, am sending my angel to testify. And you know what the word testify means, don't you? To bear witness, to teach, to testify, lay this testament down, to testify that he's who?
Unto you these things in the churches.
These are the things that I want taught in the churches. And isn't it ironic, as you will read, the very things that Christ wanted to be taught in the churches, they're not teaching that. They're not teaching that because they are not in harmony with his spirit. But here's what he said.
I am the root.
I am the root.
And the offspring of David.
Here, Christ of the New Testament, y'all claim that Christ was God wrapped up in flesh and blood, and he wanted the body to come down to earth, and he got the body, and he was sacrificed in the body, but his spirit went back to the heaven, and now he's sitting on the throne because he is God. And right here, said he's not sitting nowhere. Right here, he says that he's sending his angel to testify to the churches that he is the offspring and root of David. Now, would God go and tell the angel to go back to the earth and teach men that I'm the son of David? Or would the son, would the true son of Yahweh tell the angel to go and teach the churches, to teach the people that I am the root and offspring of David, when in fact he's supposed to be the offspring of Yahweh? But this is not so. This is not what he taught. He taught something totally different. And after he's supposed to have ascended into heaven, John supposed to have looked into the future and heard Christ say that I am the root and offspring of David and the bright and morning star. Well, you see, if he's a bright morning star, he can't be Yahweh, because Yahweh is the one who created the stars, the sun, and the moon on the fourth day of the week. According to the book of Genesis, the first chapter, the 14th to the 18th verse. So if he's a star, then he was created, as all the stars were. He could not be the beginning and the ending. Hello? Furthermore, that you know that the Christ of the New Testament not only taught that he was not God, and he not only taught that he's not the physical son of God, but he taught that he is the son of David. He also taught that we are not to worship him. And Christ of the New Testament said, everyone that worship him are false worshipers. And we find this in the book of St. John, the 4th chapter, the 23rd verse. It says,
But the hour cometh,
he said, the hour cometh,
and now is,
and now is,
when the true worshipers,
all that knocks you out, brother man. That knocks you out, baby sister. That knocks you out, Mr. and Mrs. Negro. That knocks you out of the plate altogether. Because he said the true worshipers shall worship
the Father,
the Father
in spirit and in truth.
Notice he didn't say the true worshipers shall worship us, the Trinity. Notice he didn't say the true worshipers shall worship us, the duo. Notice he didn't say the true worshipers shall worship him. But he rather said the true worshipers, who is Israel, and Israel only, because he said these are the only people that have salvation. So anyone that even calls themselves a Christian never had salvation offered to them through the mouth of Christ, because he never spoke of any Christians. Christ of the New Testament says salvation is to the Jews. So therefore, if you want to know the way to the path of righteousness, you're going to have to go through the way of the Israelites. That's reason all of his disciples were Israelites. That's the reason all of the prophets were Israelites. That's the reason everybody that were his hand-picked apostle were Israelites. Because salvation is only to Israel according to Christ. And before we get to the 23rd verse, let me let you peep at verse 22. Here he says, notice, pay strict attention to what he says. He tells the lady, you worship, you know not what. But we know what we worship. For salvation is to Yehudadim, or salvation is to the Jews, not the disciples of Christ, not the Jehovah Witnesses, not the Seventh-day Adventists, but salvation is to Israel. And that's the reason he said the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers, which could only be pertaining to Israel, shall worship the Father. Because all the Israelites that's worth a grain of salt, they would only worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. Notice it didn't say the Father seeketh such to worship them, but him. So he taught that you must worship Yahweh only. Furthermore, if you look in the book of Revelation, 19th chapter,